Welcome back to Supporting Physician Spouses. I'm Kendra.
And I'm Katie. Thank you so much for being here. Today we're going to have a brief episode talking about how we celebrate this holiday season.
Yes, this episode is going to air the week of Christmas, and I can hardly believe that those words are even coming out of my mouth, that it could possibly be that time again.
I know, it's such a joyous time. As a physician family, it can be kind of a tricky time as we adjust and make it work for our families, but we wanted to share what we like to do, how we like to celebrate.
Yeah, so what you didn't hear is right before we started recording, Katie and I were talking about traditions, and why don't you tell them what you said, and then I will add mine.
Well, we were trying to figure out, okay, how do we want to outline our conversation? And I said, I don't know, we might have to have a free-flowing conversations because we don't really have set in stone traditions. It depends on the year and if we're visiting family or if we're here.
I think that's been one of the hardest things about this medical journey is that creating traditions has been really hard. But we have some things that we do, and they do happen every year. And so I suppose those are traditions. But when you talk to other people about their traditions, I always feel very self-conscious about ours. Like somehow, you know, they're not big and grand or what anybody else might recognize as a tradition.
Yeah. And actually, I'm kind of shocked, Kendra. I guess I just feel like everyone who's older than me is like, of course they have traditions. And I'm like, someday I guess I'm going to get there. But I don't know. It kind of seems to change.
I'm going to say you probably do have traditions and you just don't know that you do. Those are kind of like habits because they just happen. You're not really thinking of them. And so we'll maybe just talk about some of the things that do and how we got them. Some of our traditions we didn't even do on purpose. I have another friend. She's married to a physician. She's a little bit older than I am. And they lived in our neighborhood. And when we moved into that neighborhood about 8 years ago, they invited us over for Christmas Eve. And so we were kind of like, well, we don't really have any traditions of our own. And so they invited us over. And their family tradition was to have pizza every Christmas Eve. And so we would go over to their house and we would have pizza. Whether my husband was available to join us or not, the whole family was invited and we shared pizza. And they would read a Christmas story and then we would all head back home. And so my kids kind of picked that up as our Christmas Eve tradition. And so we do that every Christmas Eve, as we do have pizza, almost as it's a tradition that we share with a family that we love who's no longer living near us anymore. So, having pizza for Christmas Eve dinner.
That is it homemade?
No, it wasn't homemade.
Okay,
no, this is just ordered pizza
better.
and And I'm like, that's a tradition I can
Simple.
get behind. I can do that. I can keep that up.
I think what I'm loving about that tradition that you were like invited into is that she created this environment, whether your husband was able to join or not, you still wanted to go.
Yeah.
It was still a place that your kids wanted to go. And it's because there was so much understanding about your experience that you're like, yeah, we're going to pizza on Christmas Eve and we're going to go have fun.
And we remember
Ooh,
them every Christmas Eve now. It's like, oh.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Honestly, still, it depends. So sometimes we prioritize PTO being around Christmas, and so visiting family, basically we're just bouncing around from our 4 different extended families. Last Christmas we were alone, but I'm still kind of in the phase where I'm doing a lot of things that are different than I was raised with. If any kids are listening, maybe put your earbuds in, but if you're a Christian, I don't like Santa. And so we've had to like kind of cut him out of our tradition a little bit and really make things minimal. Honestly, literally, I'm like, I don't, what do we do on Christmas? We decorate the house?
Let's go back to Santa. So we're not Santa fans either. And so we decided, you're a medical student, you're a resident, you're poor. It's like, there's no way Santa is going to get credit for like the best gift.
Yeah.
And so we decided that Santa can do stockings, but he does not give presents. And so
yeah,
that was just for me. And we still do that. Like Santa does not bring gifts. Mom and dad And their loved ones bring gift and Santa can fill your stocking. But we still do that. And sometimes kids also compare with other kids. Santa brought somebody something amazing. And I'm like, well, your Santa's a little different.
My kids are pretty young, and both my boys, 8 and 6, no, Santa's not real.
Oh, wow. That's
And
early.
that's early. Yeah. But they like the idea of
Yeah.
the magic of it, right? So living in Washington, there's a lot of emphasis on the environment and kind of just celebrating the natural world. And so celebrating winter solstice is actually pretty big here. There's lots of lantern festivals because it's so dark in the winter here, you guys.
That's
Like 4 p.m.
amazing.
it's like pitch black.
Oh,
So we like to go to these lantern festivals that feel like very communal and very fun because you're celebrating something, a natural phenomenon in the world, bringing light into the world. And so I really love that. Working on it with my kids, though. But
love
making
that.
our own lanterns and being outside, walking in the darkness with the light, that's really special.
I'm still stuck on dark at 4 p.m. That's hard. When does the
It's
sun come
nuts.
up?
So, I mean, I don't even remember what it's like in January, February, but lately it's like 7:30.
Okay.
But also because of all of the thick cloud cover, it just
Stays darker.
decreases that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. It's an interesting phenomenon. But I have a cousin who lives in Finland, and I think in the thick of winter, it doesn't get light in the morning until 9 a.m.
Yeah. My husband served his mission there.
It's insane.
Yeah. I can't imagine. I can't do it. Can't do it. Okay. I love this because even though we thought we didn't have traditions, we do have some traditions. You
Yes.
mentioned something about
They're coming back to me.
decorating, and I will say we do start decorating early, partly because my husband's availability. His job is always to put up the tree. We don't get a real tree. We have artificial trees, and we have 2 of them that we like to put up, 2 big trees. And I don't like putting them up. That's my least favorite job. And so I'm always working with him. I'm like, okay, what is your schedule? Like, when do you think you'll be able to put the trees up? And so last weekend, he put the trees up. And slowly I'll like open a box and I put up some garland on the stairs. And it's like, so slowly it's happening because I can't find like a huge block of time to just do it all. So just a little bit here and a little bit there. And the goal is by Thanksgiving to have it all done. So if you're listening to this, you should know we're recording early November.
Yeah.
So
That's why it's hard to think of these
I
traditions.
know. This is a good prelude to, we really do need to start greasing those wheels.
Right.
This isn't a tradition yet, but it could be. So we live in an area where there's, it's Texas. So there are lots of Christian churches and there's lots of fun things going on at different places. Our church often hosts a nativity setup where hundreds, if not thousands, of nativities are placed. And this year, however, they are working with another church to do a journey through Bethlehem. And so we're excited to incorporate that this year to do like a live. They're going to have animals and music and food, and it should be lovely. So
Awesome.
I'm hoping by the time this airs, we will have already gone to it. We can report back, but maybe that will be a new tradition of ours. Does your family do Christmas caroling?
No.
Yeah, we don't
Definitely
either.
Let's see. There is the giving machines
Love those.
about an hour south of us. And so this year it's at a mall that has a Cafe Rio for any Utah, Arizona.
There's a
people.
Cafe Rio in Washington.
There's a Cafe Rio, yeah. So we're thinking we're going to bundle that event, going to the giving machines, and then getting our favorite grub.
Nice. Quick pause. Hey, it's Kendra. We'll get right back to the episode, but a quick thank you to the partner that supports this show. It Gets Better Now, my one-on-one coaching practice for physician spouses. Maybe you're thinking, training is over. Why doesn't it feel better yet? That is my specialty, turning survival systems into sustainable ones. Time you can count on, calmer conflict, and a clearer sense of you outside of medicine. If you'd like support that understands this life, visit itgetsbetternow.com. Speaking of grub, I should say, for the last several years at least, we make the same things for dinner. So we have pizza on Christmas Eve, and then Christmas morning we will have the same type of menu every year. And so I have a little notes app on my phone that's called Christmas Menu, where I put what we eat for Christmas and the link so I don't forget where to go get it. But how about I tell you what our menu is for Christmas?
Let's hear it.
Okay, we have bruleed orange brioche French toast.
Oosh.
It's a recipe by Williams and Sonoma. I will include that
In the show notes.
in our show notes. And then a citrus and berry salad with honey lime poppy seed dressing.
Yum.
That's usually breakfast. And then for dinner, we have a homemade lasagna and banana pudding and a green salad. And then, of course,
so fun.
for Christmas break, my children are all, and my husband too, are all Harry Potter fans. And so sometime during the break, we will watch all of the Harry Potter movies together.
Wonderful. Yeah, I guess growing up, we did do a lot of, we're going to just kind of vibe with how we feel and we're just going to sit and be together. So I love the idea of this big movie marathon because I love just being cozy and then just playing games or watching those movies. We did go to movies a lot last year because, again, with the darkness, we were like, what else should we do to get out of the house? So I think we went to 2 movies over Christmas break last year. And the kids were like, we're going to the movies, so fun.
It's part of our, usually Thanksgiving Day, we'll go and see a movie, and Christmas Day, we'll go see a movie. And thankfully, the last couple of years, there have actually been movies we've wanted to see. So, hopefully this year for Christmas, we'll have some good movies also.
Yeah, so fun.
How about baking cookies? Any special things that you bake or like to go and get and partake of?
No, not with my little family yet. I mean, sometimes I'll get those Annie's cinnamon rolls from Costco, and that's special. I do that, other special weekends of the year. Another special breakfast we make, I really like breakfast, as I'm going to declare biscuits. We make biscuits and gravy or just biscuits with jam, like a really yummy butter biscuit. So delicious. But we're still at the age where my kids like chicken nuggets and my husband and I want salmon, so it's like we don't really have a tradition of food or bigger meals yet, but we're just waiting for that moment. But pizza, Christmas Eve pizza, everyone will be on board.
Yeah, I was going to say, feel free to take that as your own holiday tradition. You can say, yes, we have traditions. We get pizza every Christmas Eve.
Physician family, that is the tradition. We do like to give a neighborhood gift, and we like to joke because, not only is the breadwinner, but he's the bread maker. So he loves to make bread from not seed, from the wheat germ. Yeah, so he grinds his own wheat and makes the bread, and took years to figure out a recipe that actually worked, but that's really fun to give away to people.
That is amazing. I know each neighborhood is kind of unique and different. Like when we lived in Arizona, we had a neighborhood where people gave neighborhood gifts for Christmas, and it was wonderful. We had so many baked yummy things and just little treats everywhere. And then when we moved to Texas, the first neighborhood we were in, there weren't a lot of young families necessarily. I think it's you got to have young people to make that work. And so it was weird. It's we're used to doing neighbor gifts and nobody's doing neighbor gifts. And we feel weird when we're bringing gifts to our neighbors because they look at us like we're
I don't have anything to give back.
Yeah, we're strange. And so we don't give neighbor gifts anymore, but we do share some gifts with some people from our congregation that are near and dear to us. But
how do you feel about gifts? I actually get really stressed about gift giving.
Yes.
Because we have a lot of family. And so anything on top of that, I'm like, I know. First of all, budget alone, I'm like, this is dumb. I don't know. Yeah. I want my pennies. So I don't love neighborhood gifts, just to have something prepared just to give, even though I'm we don't even talk.
Yeah.
During the year. We're not even friends. I don't know. What do you vibe? What's your vibe of the gifts?
For neighbors and
all of it, I guess.
Oh, well, we'll start there. If you have the energy and you love doing it, go for it. But don't ever feel obligated to give gifts to neighbors or congregants. I will say, even speaking of gifts, when our kids were young and we were in med school and residency, we didn't do a lot of gifts because they have grandparents who loved buying gifts. And they didn't know any better because we didn't live near family. And so they never saw how, I know this is terrible. You might think I'm a terrible mother. They never got to
All in this
see
camp.
their cousins and how many presents they got. They never experienced that. It was always just us. And so they've grown up their whole life not knowing that some people get ridiculous amounts of gifts or really expensive gifts. And so we've still, even as we've, matured out of that phase of life and we could do more, we still don't. They just don't get a lot for Christmas. Usually they get something to wear, something to read, something to do like an experience or something that we'll do together as a family, or if it's something that we know that they're really interested in that they would like to do with themselves or a friend, we'll do that. And maybe one other thing that's like special. I think last year the girls, they all wanted Uggs, and so that was their like one extra special thing was Uggs. But yeah, my husband likes to give gifts. And I think if I let him, he would go like crazy. But I'm like, listen, we have a good thing going.
Yeah. Yeah. So you do a want, a need, a read, and an experience?
Well, it's something to wear. And so depending
Oh,
on, so it's
something to
something to wear,
wear,
something to read, something to do, and then like something
something to
else. So
do.
usually like something that they want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I like those four things because I've heard like a want, a need, a read. I don't know. Yeah. Again, we're still trying to figure out our flow too.
Yeah. That's the beauty of where you are right
I
now.
love
You
it.
get to decide what it is and how it grows or if it changes. I will say one other
Hmm.
thing when we've done this, well, I guess we've only done it once, but I want to do it again. One year for Christmas, we just went on a cruise over the holiday and that was amazing.
You had buy-in, like no presents from kids or
Yeah,
for your kids?
they were great.
Fun.
Yeah, we had a good time.
I will say, so this year we are going to go visit family and talking about it. We're going to fly on 2 airplanes to get there.
Oh,
And they're
wow.
like, what? This is so
Oh, oh,
fun.
they're excited.
And they're so excited. My oldest son loves airplanes, and hearing them talk about that, I'm like, I know if we got to the point where we could just lean into experiences, they would take that any day. But also, still as young kids, they're like, I want something to play with my hands or
Yeah.
to see and be a little bit less abstract of a moment. But
Yeah, I had a friend one
it is
time.
fun.
This is hopefully it's not getting too off topic, but she said deprivation equals appreciation. And so how many times have you gotten a present for somebody, a small child, and they're just enamored with the wrapping paper and the box? It's like, okay, we don't have to overcomplicate this. We can keep it simple and everybody's still happy.
Right. Yeah.
We'll see if that continues to last as they mature into adulthood, if they're still content with.
I already know my kids are going to do things way different
Oh
than how
yeah.
we raised them. Be like, what? My parents were just not stingy, but I do like to lean into minimalism and just, celebrating what's going on in nature.
Well,
And I think
yeah.
it seems like they're a little bit more maximalist. So,
Well, I grew up at a time where, you would get socks and underwear for Christmas. And I mean, you waited until Christmas and then all of the things came. But we recognize that during the year when we need things, then we just get what we need. So we're not saving everything for Christmas. I don't feel too bad about, you being minimalist.
yeah, love that.
All right. This has probably gone on longer than we intended to. What
Yep.
do we have?
Yep.
What do we have for our listeners? Anything?
I love the permission that it's okay to not have it all planned out. Both you and I feel like maybe we don't even still have traditions. I think our kids would say differently. I think when they talk to their friends, they're coming up with ideas, but maybe we're so bombarded with what it means to actually have a tradition
Yeah.
that we're not claiming it, but they're there, like you say.
Yep. My last little bit is to maybe don't pay attention to what's happening online. I mean, I've been looking at my Instagram feed recently and it's just a barrage of things I should buy, things I should do, and it can make you feel like you're not doing enough. So also consider this permission to go easy, to be simple, and to do what is best for you and your family, and don't pay attention to what anybody else does, including Katie and I.
Yes, so true.
All
Good
right.
reminder.
Well, that's all we have, but I do want to ask our listeners for maybe one Christmas gift. If you feel so inclined, if you would leave this podcast a review, it really helps other people find it. And we love nothing more than talking about physician families and the topics that are important to them. So if you would like to help another physician family find us, leaving a review is one way that you can do it, or you can share this with a friend.
Yes. Happy holidays, and thank you for being here.
Yes. Have a Merry Christmas. Thanks for listening. If this episode was helpful, imagine what we can do with your specific situation. It Gets Better Now is my one-on-one coaching for physician spouses and supports this podcast. You can learn more at itgetsbetternow.com.